Hi, and welcome to the 13th floor. I'm Marty Duda. Today we're very excited to have Troy Kingi here once more on the day of the release of his new album, The Ghost of Freddie Cesar. So welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you, man. It's good to see you.
You've got to be running for the new hardest working man in showbiz title. I mean, you've got a TV series that you're working on with Lucy Lawless, right? You've got like 2 documentaries coming out. You got this album, which is the 4th in a series of 10, and you have 5 kids as well.
Yeah, I had this yesterday. Like, how do you manage to do all of that stuff? But it's because those are my only focuses: is my family and my music. Basically, anything that falls outside of that, I just don't gravitate towards, so I focus all my energy on those 2 things. And if you put it that way, it's like, oh yeah, well, I suppose you can do.
But I assume you're good at time management.
I'm getting better. I am getting better.
Very good. So the Ghost of Freddie Cesar is the 4th in your series of the 10-10-10 things, which I imagine everybody knows by now, since you were in 4, that you're doing 10 albums, 10 different genres in 10 years, which is very...
Yeah, I was here, last one I was here was with the second one, Shake That Skinny Ass.
That's right.
So far we've had this indie rock one, Guitar Party at Uncle's Batch.
Yeah.
And then this sci-fi space soul album, Shake That Skinny Ass All the Way to Zygertron. Then we had this political roots reggae album last year with Holy Colony, Burning Acres, and now we got this funk album.
It is funky.
The Ghost of Freddie Cesar,
Yeah. So, and then, are you already working on the next one, the one with Delaney?
Yeah, we finished it actually.
I thought you might have.
we finished recording it just under a month ago, and we go into mix it in a couple of weeks. So,
oh, cool.
It's a pretty quick turnaround. I think it's not even half a year, and that one's going to be out.
Man.
But it is because I didn't bring anything out in 2018, so
you got to make up for it.
I'm playing catch up a little bit.
That seems absurd, but all right, go for it.
Yeah.
All right, so the Ghost of Freddie Cesar, the Freddie Cesar character is a very obscure R&B singer from the 70s. Is that right? Or
who knows?
Who knows?
Who really knows?
Yeah.
I stumbled on it by accident, really.
Yeah.
Through my dad's belongings. The story is he went missing. I think I told you this.
Yeah.
He went missing a long time ago, 15 years ago now, and it was a couple of years after that when I think my mum was moving, and she found a box of stuff that belonged to my dad, and they broke up when I was super young,
right,
3 or 4. And she said, you might as well take this, and I was just going through it, and I found that cassette, like a mixtape cassette with just the name Freddie Cesar. That's basically all I've had to go off, and names of songs on the back.
Yep.
And with my dad missing, I felt like, I don't know, it was like some sort of connection to my dad having this cassette. So I listened to it a lot, and I wrote down lyrics and stuff like this, and then that was that until you fast forward to maybe 2010 when I found this notebook again, and no cassette. This was when I was moving, so I ransacked the house looking for this cassette that I couldn't find, and that was that. I was just like, okay, can't find it. And then you fast forward again, maybe 4 years, and I start thinking about doing this 10 albums in 10 years, 10 different genres. I was thinking, I really want to do this as a covers album, as an ode to my father.
Right.
So start researching this dude, trying to look him up.
Sure.
And just coming up blanks. We did manage to find one guy in the 80s but he was a publisher, and that was like on some really deep digging.
Yeah.
Because
you figure nowadays everything, you can find anything, right? You just Google, boom, it's there, but nothing.
Yeah, there was nothing. And so that's been the trickiest thing, is using what I had of the lyrics, because they weren't fully formed. There's some gaps there, to trigger what the arrangements were that I remembered in my memory and that sort of thing. I've had to fill in gaps with my own lyrics, trying to figure out what he was talking about and try and fit some of my own stuff in there to help it go seamlessly, as well as trying to create bridges and stuff that I've completely forgotten, because it's been 13 years since I last heard it.
Right.
Actually heard it. So there's a lot of blanks there. So I've said it a few times. I don't know where Freddie Cesar stops and I begin.
Gotcha. Well, it's not a bad place to be, I guess. It's an interesting place to be, I would imagine. And you've made the record with a band called The Clutch.
Yeah.
So who are those folks?
It is the same band that I use every single time.
I thought it was.
That's one of my favorite things doing these new albums is I get to make up a new band name for each one. But it's the same. I've got the same crew. My number ones, I've always got Marika Hodgson on bass.
Sure.
My drummer Trey Liu, who played last time I was up here. But we also had two other drummers that played a couple of songs. So I had Iraya Whakamoe, who plays for The Nudge and Fly My Pretties,
right.
and then also Elijah White, who's up and coming drummer in Auckland, who's just completely insane.
Cool.
So I had them. Sam Loveridge as well. He played strings. Guy Harrison, he played the trumpet. Forrest Thorpe, he played the keys and I think he played the melodica and something. And then we also had my girls who started doing backing vocals for me last year, Rachel
right.
Hoare and Nina Joyce. So it's a big crew. And actually, no, we had Greg Haver, who come in.
He gets around.
Yeah, he come in and he come in and done the percussion for us.
Cool. Yeah.
And he's amazing.
So what are the sessions like when you're making these records? Is everybody in one room together? Or are you kind of doing it bits and pieces?
Yeah, I normally start with the core. You have the drummer, Marika, and me.
Right.
And we get that live, so that'll only take maybe 2-3 days max, just going through the songs. I don't like to do more than 3 takes because it feels like the first and the second one you're still trying to work it out. By the third one you've got it, but you're kind of on the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
Because I like to kind of do full takes. I don't like to cut it up, do the verse and stuff like that. So there's that added pressure of not wanting to be the one that stuffs it up and having to start again. So
right.
I feel like that electricity kind of makes its way into the music, and then once you get to the 4th, 5th take, you know it too well, and then it starts sounding a little bit off. I feel like it feels a bit off. So that's how we do it, and then I bring in the others to add their parts. Yeah. And
do you talk to them much about their parts, or do you let them kind of just listen and figure it out for themselves?
I normally give them most of their parts,
right.
Especially with Guy with the horn parts,
right?
Because they were, well, I'm not sure if they were the parts in the music, but from what that's the thing, you have these mind battles like, I think this is what I heard, or am I just making this up right now? So I gave them a lot of the horn lines, but then I also like to give them room to embellish them and bring their own musicality to it. Same with Marika. I'll have a few bass hooks that I do remember, and then she'll embellish those as well and do what she does. Yeah.
Now, hopefully, we can touch on a couple of the songs on the record.
Yeah.
Just to, one of the caught my ear was "Caught in the Rain," which has a very kind of Curtis Mayfield kind of vibe to it. Yeah.
It's so even though these are supposed to be Freddie Cesar songs, I was trying to listen to a lot of funk as well.
Yeah. That's a tough job.
Yeah. So Curtis Mayfield definitely. And the meters as well.
Oh, yeah.
I listen to a lot of the meters, so great references. But yeah, with that song, I don't know. That is one of my favorite tracks on the record. It's nice and chill, and it's got a nice little string thing in the chorus there. Trying to decipher those lyrics, I'm not sure. It sounds like there's a lot of women in these songs. I don't know if it's the same woman or if it was a womanizer.
Right.
But in this one, it sounds like the woman who he's with has got a drug addiction.
Right.
That's what it sounds like to me. There's a lyric in there that says, use the last of heaven's stardust lined up parallel, which is one of my favorite lyrics in the whole album. So not normally stuff that I'd sing about myself, but yeah, it is one of my favorite tracks.
And you slide into falsetto quite a bit on the record.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
No, I feel more comfortable up there. And during this record, I found there's this range in the middle that I'm not very good at. Like the real easy part, right smack in the middle. My voice doesn't really like that, and it seems to kind of crack. And I'm really comfortable up the top, and not so much down the bottom. I can't really hit low notes either.
Now on the track "King of the Powder," there's a pretty wild guitar thing happening at the end there.
Yeah.
What's going on? Is that you playing?
That's just me doing. I don't know. That's nothing to do with Freddie Cesar. I think I ended up putting maybe 5-6 different effects on my guitar and just going ape on it. Yeah, that is a bit of a crazy one.
Good on you. And Skylegs Jackson, you're kind of almost preaching, and it's, you reference Nixon and Vietnam, but still there's kind of like this sexy element to it.
Yeah,
how do you do that?
I don't know. That was the trickiest one because I recall when I last listened to it, because it wasn't singing and there was no melodies in the singing.
Right.
I don't think I took on the actual musical arrangement. So the whole musical arrangement for that I had to completely make up, and I actually used the bass line from Holy Colony from a slower song, Pseudo Ego.
Right.
Just sped it up, and it works really well in there. But also having to put on this accent, only because it was really strong. I remember it being really strong, and I was going to get one of my American mates to come in and do it, but COVID kind of just closed. So I was like, so I'm going to have to put on my bad accent and try and pull this off.
Well, I didn't notice it, so
Yeah, cool.
You're an actor as well.
Yeah.
So how much do they cross over when you're singing and you're taking on a role like?
Yeah, well, there's a song, First Take Strut.
Right.
When I actually wrote their names down on when I was doing the lyrics, it's only called First Take, but I was listening to the meters a lot.
Sissy Strut, right?
Yeah, Sissy Strut. There's a few struts.
Yeah.
So that's why I added strut to it. But I couldn't decipher a lot of those lyrics when I was writing down the words to it. So the only ones I could pick out were the chorus words. So I just ran with the first take element. And at the time I was filming this film that comes out, the film Toke comes out. So I was using my experience in the film industry and trying to get first takes when you're in front of the screen, in front of the camera, as my inspiration for the lyrics to kind of work in with what I think Freddie was trying to do. So yeah, that feels like one of the closest ones to my vibe. And I also even wrote the interlude wasn't part of it. I wrote that part in particular so I could have Nico come and sing that outro for me, because I really wanted to work with her for the last couple of years. She's super young. She's only 18.
Oh, jeez.
But you hear her voice and you know why you want to work with her. It's just one of the purest voices you've ever heard. And everyone when I show them that song, they're like, oh my God, who is this crazy voice at the end? So yeah, I try to, I don't know if you know the Marlon Williams song, Nobody Gets What They Want.
Sure.
How it's got that little interlude that just breaks off at the end. I kind of use that as my inspiration.
Oh, cool.
Okay, just going to write this thing at the end that kind of just goes off on a tangent. And that little section feels like one of the coolest parts I've ever written, actually. I really like it.
So when you write, because I can't even understand how you have time to do any of the stuff that you do. So do you have to get into a space to write this stuff? Yeah, with all the albums, I haven't really been out of my comfort zone as far as like, I write them all at home. Right. I can't write or do anything until the kids are in bed. Right. Daytime is for my family, and then after hours is for my craft. So I'll shoot to my little studio at the back and just start fleshing stuff out. I'm pretty systematic on the way I write. It's not like all of a sudden I'll get this big burst of like inspiration and I have to go write a song. If hooks and stuff like that hit me, I'll just put them on a voice memo and just keep them there for later. So Right.
I do go into writing mode. I got stuff to draw from. Yeah.
So, and for you, how has the lockdown been? You're up north, right?
Yeah. It took a couple of weeks to get used to it, but I've got 5 children, so
You're not really locked down.
Yeah,
You're surrounded.
but by the end, we were kind of liked it, eh?
Yeah.
The kids didn't want to go to school, and I
Sure.
didn't want them to go to school. We just love being in each other's company. So, as far as musically, I feel like I kind of slowed down a little bit, but I was doing a few collaborations and stuff, just having jams of bouncing tracks back and forth with my mates. So I did have that, but I wasn't really thinking about it. I was just enjoying time with my family, really.
Interesting. And so, are you kind of itching to get out and play in front of people now? Or
I am looking forward to playing this
Yeah.
this album, because I'm actually going to step back from the guitar on this one and try and embody this Freddie Cesar character. And it's something I've never done. I'm always hiding behind my guitar, because I'm like, what do I do with my hands?
Right.
So that's quite exciting. It's a nice little challenge, and just looking forward to getting into rehearsals and hearing these songs come together live. Yeah.
Cool. Now you're going to perform a little tune for us. You brought your guitar with you today. So
Yes.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to do Caught in the Rain.
The one that I.
Yeah.
That's cool. And what else can you tell us about that song? Especially since you're going to be doing it acoustically.
I think the only reason I'm playing it is because it's probably the only one you can really play
Right.
acoustically. Everything else needs all these hard horn lines and stuff. But it's a song that sits well acoustically.
Yeah.
It feels like a love story, but like I said, it also feels like addiction as well. So
Right.
I can't speak for this dude that I've never met before, but
Right.
it's a cool song.
I'm sure it is. I know it is. Well, thank you very much for coming around, especially on the day that the record is released. You must have tons of places that you have to be at.
There's nowhere else I'd rather be than right.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you to say. But yeah, good luck with everything.
Choice.
And we'll hopefully see you on stage sometime.
Yeah,
soon.
thank you, man.
About to disembark, this woman's left her mark. I can't see the fruit from the trees, Lord. Somebody gonna step me out for wanting to be free. Oh, can anyone spare that token? My muse is broken. Color me opal skies. I'm looking straight out to commotions that ain't helping my hyperbole. Words ain't worth the paper that they're scribbled on. Dig deep for revelations, only need one. Ain't nobody got to paint it for you, ain't nobody got no pain. Left your love for California, trying to run from the rain. Oh, baby, no shame when you get caught in the rain. Using lost the faith in stardust, lined up every day. Now my little baby harness hooked on every bell. Oh, baby, no shame when you get caught in the rain. Answers in the drugs, pulling the philosopher's rug. I'm gonna keep on falling, hallucinates installing. Now we're looking at the sheep arrive, rolling up on the train. It's 5:20, it's my mistake. I've waited for too late, babe. Ain't nobody had to paint it for you. Ain't nobody got no pay. Left your love for California, trying to run from the rain. Oh, babe, ain't no shame when you get caught in the rain. Using lost of every stone that's lined up every day. Now my little baby horn is hooked on Captain Bell. Oh, babe, ain't no shame when you get caught in the rain. Ain't no shame, ain't no shame when you're gonna get caught in the rain. Ain't no shame, ain't no shame, ain't no shame, ain't no shame, babe. Ain't nobody had to pay that for you. Ain't nobody got to pay. Left your love for California, try